Good evening, folks. Blitzball Champ is back with another video here on the U to the 2. I know this looks really weird considering I'm wearing an AEW shirt, but I will be going over night 1 of WWE NXT's Takeover Stand and Deliver. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this night 1. So, there was a pre-show match, which kind of caught me off guard. Did not think there would be a pre-show match, but we had Toni Storm versus Zoe Stark in the pre-show, and I gotta give them credit. Zoe got a big victory over Toni Storm, countering the Storm Zero. I gotta give them credit. This is a pretty big win over Toni Storm, former NXT UK Women's Champion, Mae Young Classic winner. And you know what? This was good because I feel like it's been a while since Zoe Stark has gotten a victory. She had that first introductory victory, and then she was thrown right into the mix against EO, and she's been kind of on a losing streak. So I definitely like the fact that she got a victory over Toni Storm. This is good. This is a good opportunity to really keep on building up Zoe Stark. They've been kind of pairing her up with Io Shirai, and that's been pretty neat. But they need to really keep on featuring her in singles matches and really get her going in NXT because I think she's going to be a bright star. I really love her finisher, that like flipping GTS that she did in her first match. So I hope that she'll continue to keep that and they continue to build up on Zoe Stark. I think she looks great. I think she has potential to really be a breakout star and go up from there in the women's division in NXT. All right. Starting off with our first match, which was singles match. Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, against the Time Splitter, Kushida. Now, of course, this can definitely be looked at as the ultimate technical struggle between these two. I mean, and we definitely saw that in this match. A lot of submission attempts, a lot of chain wrestling, a lot of strikes. This was a great match to kick off this takeover, and it definitely went a good length. Saw a lot of digits being manipulated and stepped on and twisted and everything like that. But at the end of the day, Pete Dunne got the bitter end on Kushida to get the victory. Wasn't easy. It was definitely back and forth. But it looks like, Pete Dunne's back on the rise in the singles division. But I kind of feel for Kushida because I really feel like he just hasn't had the opportunity to really win the big one. I mean, he's had it maybe a few times, but just, and he's dealt with injury and just hasn't. He's bounced back a little bit, but just don't know if Kushida will really win the big one in NXT before he gets to the main roster, which I hope he doesn't. But I mean, I would love to see him win the Cruiserweight Championship or the North American title, but looks like it may be a while before that happens. But this was a great match. Pete Dunne and Kushida, great chemistry in the ring together, and it definitely showed. Trading submissions, chain wrestling, strikes, the whole bucket. That's what they did in this match, and I enjoyed it. But Pete Dunne got the victory. And then we had the gauntlet, the eliminator gauntlet for the title shot, the North American title shot against Johnny Gargano for night 2. So what we had here was 6 men. We had Leon Ruff and Swerve, Isaiah Swerve Scott, start off in this match. And then we had let's see, we had Brunson Reed, and then we had Cameron Grimes, we had Dexter Loomis, and then the last person to show up was LA Knight. And to be honest with you, I was kind of thinking that Brunson Reed or even Cameron Grimes probably would have been the sleeper to pull this off. But when it all came down to it, it came down to Bronson Reed and Swerve, and I just really liked what they did with this. Now, of course, I think we're going to see more of a storyline between LA Knight and Dexter Loomis, considering LA Knight did eliminate Dexter Loomis, but I think they got a storyline maybe brewing between those two, so that should be interesting. Um, but yeah, Bronson Reed and Swerve. I mean, from what they did, as the last two folks left, was definitely pretty cool. And I'm a big fan of Swerve. I honestly would have thought Swerve would have been cruiserweight champion by now, but um, right now it's Bronson Reed's time as he ended up winning the gauntlet. He ended up winning the gauntlet. Um, it didn't surprise me that Leon Ruff was the first one eliminated. I mean, Leon Ruff. I know that he's tasted North American Championship gold, but it was definitely time for the next man up, and Brunson Reed uh will get a shot against Johnny Gargano in night 2 tomorrow. So that should be interesting. Should be really interesting. North American Championship match. But definitely pretty wacky match. But hey, I wasn't complaining. Think the outcome made sense. So I can hang. Should be an interesting title match tomorrow. Next up, we had the NXT United Kingdom Championship match, where the champion Falta defended against Tommaso Ciampa. And wowzers, this was definitely a great match, very hard hitting, and there were many times where Tommaso seemed like he was getting the best of Falter. I mean, hit him with the fairy tale ending, was, you know, working on the hand and arm, and just really taking it to Falter. But at the end of the day, Falter got like a not sure, that was like a half and half reverse suplex, and then got one last big chop and got the victory, got the pin. But that was crazy seeing Tommaso Ciampa kick out after taking two power bombs like that. But this was a great match. This was a hard hitting match, and of course at the end, uh, Imperium did their pose alongside Falter. But not to mention they had noted before this match. Did y'all know that Falter has been NXT UK United Kingdom champion for 730 days? 730 days. Like, that's what? That's about a little under 2 years, or maybe right almost at 2 years he's been champion. Like, I know, we had the pandemic and everything, but 730 days. And still no one has dethroned Falter. So I know that Rampage Brown has the next shot at him, but I mean, there's no telling who's going to dethrone Falter. There's no telling. But Tommaso Ciampa gave it a great effort. And like I said, this was a great match. This was a great match. but Falter successfully retained. And then we had the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship match, the triple threat. Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma versus the winner of the men's Dusty Classic Tournament, MSK. This match was all over the place. A lot of high flying, just a lot of double teams, and I definitely I love tag team wrestling. You know, I'm big into tag team wrestling just as much as I'm into women's wrestling and Joshi wrestling. So I was definitely rooting for MSK. Legado del Fantasma, I do like Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. I am not a fan of Grizzled Young Veterans, to be honest with you. So my thoughts were as long as they didn't win, I'd be happy. But sure enough, MSK got the victory. So Nash Carter, Wes Lee are your new NXT Tag Team Champions, and well deserved, if you ask me. You know, they came in hot. You know, they were known as the Radicals back in Impact Wrestling. They won the Dusty Tag Team Classic. So, I mean, it just only makes sense. But, you know, when you think about it, that's another year in a row that grizzled young veterans, I guess you could say, kind of put over the other team. Because remember, they were in the finals of the Dusty Tag Classic last year when Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle won. So I don't know. MSK, you know, whether they have a long or a short reign, it wouldn't surprise me if eventually Grizzled Young Veterans won the NXT Tag Team titles at some point. At some point. But MSK is the hot new tag team right now, and you know, I think they'll have a decent title run. But definitely enjoyed this triple threat match, and yeah, it was excellent. It was definitely excellent. And then the main event of night one, the NXT Women's Championship match. The champion, Io Shirai, defended against Raquel Gonzalez. Now, Dakota Kai was with her for a little while, but then after Dakota attacked Io, the ref kicked Dakota Kai to the back. So she got eliminated and kicked to the back to backstage. And this was truly then one on one. And I have to say, this was this was a great match. This was a really good match, and really got the chance to see Io do her usual offense. Um, she did a spot crossbody from the top of the takeover skull, which honestly, the way she landed on that grate, I was kind of like, I hope her knees are okay because you could hear the thud of the landing, and I'm like, ugh, I hope her knees are okay. But you know, I gotta say, you know, Io was red hot with her offense, but so was Raquel Gonzalez. But just she threw everything she could, crossface, hit the moonsault, hit her with everything outside the ring that wasn't a weapon, and yet Raquel kept kicking out, kept bouncing back, and took a one arm power bomb to the outside. And even though Io got in a shote, she ate a clothesline from Raquel, and Io sold the mess out of that clothesline. It was well done. She sold that clothesline. And then, of course, one more one arm power bomb, and Raquel Gonzalez gets the 3 count and is your new NXT Women's Champion. The reign of the Genius of the Sky is over. But you know what? Io Shirai had a great run. She had a 300 plus day title run. So she almost had it for a year, and she's been a great fighting champion, but it was definitely Raquel's time. She's been on the rise, um, and it just clearly shows that they're definitely got some stock in her, and I think she'll have a good decent run. She's another big girl, and she seems to be one that's really been over. And like I said, overall, I can dig this decision. And also, Stephanie McMahon and the newest signee, Sari the Sun God, which I believe they call her Saray, was also watching this match. So, can't wait to see her finally debut, see what she's all about. But, yeah, Raquel Gonzalez, it's your new NXT Women's Champion. Now, I know there's probably going to be some speculation on, is Io going to get moved up to the main roster? Um, they had a bonus video on WWE's YouTube channel just of the folks giving Io a standing ovation and her showing her thanks to the crowd. Um, and one thing that apparently Triple H had mentioned is pretty much Io's been a fighting champion, and with where she is now, she pretty much has the right to do what she wants to. I mean, if she wants to take time off, she may just take some time off. You know, I mean, she could stay in NXT. I mean, I know there's a lot of speculation, and I know there's some fears. That if she goes to the main roster, she could get ruined. I get it, but at the same time, we have to ask ourselves. You know, she's been champion 300 plus days, so almost a year. I mean, Io Shirai is one of the best Joshi wrestlers in the world. I mean, and she's been wrestling pretty consistently and defending her title consistently. So I mean, honestly, what really does she have left to prove in NXT? You know what I mean? Like, I understand she could be there and, you know, become, I guess, a future women's tag team champion, and she'll be one that has held both titles. She'll be the second one to have ever held both titles. The first one was, of course, Ember Moon. So, I mean, there's that, but I mean, does she really need that? I mean, it probably would have made more sense if Kyrie Sane was still here. I mean, they were undefeated in NXT as the Sky Pirates. So around then, it would have made more sense. But Kyrie's not wrestling uh, in NXT or on the main roster right now. So she's in Japan. But I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's over in NXT with Io Shirai, but I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, maybe she'll get a rematch for the title, and then maybe afterwards, maybe that's how they'll kill her off and maybe move her to the main roster, or she could just be like Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano and just flat out stay in NXT. I mean, she's a big face in the women's division. So, I mean, why not? But at the same time, I could see why they would move her to the main roster just based on, okay, what more does she have to do in NXT? So I kind of get it, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope she gets a chance to take some time off. Maybe go back home, spend some time with her fiance, Evil. Maybe get a chance to see Kyrie Sane, or maybe go to see a Stardom live event. Just under the radar. But just she definitely deserves some time off. and I hope she gets a chance to, to do that. But Io Shirai had a great run, but it's Raquel's time. It's definitely Raquel's time. But pretty good first night. Pretty good first night. Um, so of course, night two will be on Peacock, and yeah, looking forward to night two. That should be good. I mean, we got the unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. We got the NXT Championship match, Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross. We got the North American title, which Bronson Reed won the opportunity, so he'll face Johnny Gargano. We got the Cruiserweight Unification ladder match, Santos Escobar, Jordan Devlin. We got the NXT women's titles on the line as Shotzi and Ember defend against Indy and Candice. So, we still got a good amount of wrestling left, and night two should be good. But yeah, I'll do a separate video tomorrow afterwards for recapping night two of NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. Oh, left one key thing out. So we got the reveal that, and I am not a fan of this name. I'm really not a fan of this name. So Taya Valkyrie will supposedly make her, I guess, on-screen debut or whatnot. I believe they said next Tuesday when NXT moves from Wednesday to Tuesday on the USA Network. So Taya Valkyrie be part of NXT, and her name will be Frankie Monet. Frankie Monet. I mean, I know she's Canadian and all, but Frankie Monet? That's the best y'all could come up with? I mean, I understand she probably didn't want to sign over her name to WWE, but Frankie Monet? Okay. I will not be calling her that. I'm just letting y'all know. I will not be calling her that. She will be Taya Valkyrie in my heart and my mind. And I'm sticking to that. I'm sorry, but Frankie Monet, for her, terrible choice for name. Terrible choice. Shame on you, WWE creative. Terrible choice. Um, but yeah, that's all I have for night one. What did y'all think of Takeover Stand and Deliver night one? Did y'all enjoy the matches? What y'all think of the outcomes? What do y'all think of Frankie Monet as Taya Valkyrie's WWE name? Ugh. Like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Yes, I know I'm wearing an AEW shirt. Shut up. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. Have a blessed day, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.